Good morning, children. On this day of Gandhi Jayanti celebrations, I would like to focus on a few defining moments of Gandhiji and India. Dandi March was a non-violent protest against the British monopoly on salt production that was initiated by the Mahatma on March 12, 1930. He led the historical Dandi March from Sabarmati Ashram in Gujarat's Ahmedabad district to the village of Dandi in the state's coastal area. It took him 24 days to reach Dandi. He started the movement with 78 volunteers and was later joined by thousands on the way. The movement played a significant role in civil disobedience movement against the salt laws. He took a handful of salt and said, "I break the British law." The march played the most significant role in challenging the Britishers. But there was one person who took it to the rest of the world, because whatever was happening in India was not shared with the rest of the world by the British. Webb Miller was the man. Webb Miller visited Darshana and he's a journalist, and he looked at the protest and he said, people would come, volunteers would come to get beaten up like animals, and they would fall down, and there would be another line of people waiting to pick up those who were hurt and take them to the first aid station. And as that was happening, another line of volunteers would come by and get beaten up. This was not known to the public. This was not known to the rest of the world. And Webb Miller sent a telegraph, and his matter was not sent. He got a message saying, "Miller, the messages you deposited about Darshana have not been telegraphed." But he did not relent. This demonstration at Darshana is the biggest story that happened during Gandhi rebellion. And he said, "I'm going to get it out to the world in full, even if I'm prevented from coming back to India." During partition, there were riots because India was divided into West Pakistan, East Pakistan, and India. There were riots, particularly in Delhi and Kolkata. Nehru didn't know how to handle it. He went to Mountbatten and asked him, "What shall I do to tackle this?" And Mountbatten said, "Send all your troops to Delhi." Nehru was aghast. He said, "If I send all troops to Delhi, what do I do about Calcutta?" Mountbatten said, "Send Gandhi there." And that's exactly what Nehru did. Gandhiji reached Kolkata. He reached Howrah, the railway station, and all the riots in Calcutta stopped. And the Delhi riots were contained by the forces. Quit India movement. On August 8th, on the wings of one of the most powerful slogans of freedom struggle, "Do or Die," Gandhiji gave a call for mass movement demanding the British withdrawal from India. Leave India to God. If this is too much, leave her to anarchy, Gandhi had told Britain in May 1942. While hunting for a slogan for the movement demanding the British to leave India, one suggestion was "get out." But Gandhiji thought it was impolite and rejected it. Rajgopalachari, on whom Gandhiji depended on, he called him his conscience keeper. He suggested retreat or withdraw. That too did not make the cut. Finally, Yusuf Meherali, the socialist and the trade unionist who was imprisoned 8 times during the freedom struggle, came up with the slogan, "Quit India." On August 9th, Gandhiji and other members of the Congress were arrested by the British, and all public meetings were prohibited. The British ruthlessly suppressed the movement by mass detentions. More than 100,000 people were imprisoned. Thousands were killed. More freedom fighters were kept in prison till 1945. Imprisoned in the Aga Khan Palace of Pune along with his wife Kasturba, Gandhiji was released from prison only in 1944. It is here that Kasturba Gandhi died in 1944. There is so much more that one can speak about. But let me end here with my reflections on the contribution that Gandhiji had, not only in India, but also on the main leaders all over the world. Let us practice some of his principles in life. Thank you and God bless.